Berries were so essential to our diet. They were actually really well managed.
Candace Campo knows a lot about these plants.
We preserved our food, and we had our food resources down to the science.
Stanley Park is part of the traditional territory of her Squamish ancestors. It's a rich history she shares with visitors from all over the world, partnering with businesses across BC.
You know, business is growing, and business has steadily grew for several years now.
Campo's not the only Indigenous tourism operator who says business is booming.
I think today Indigenous tourism is growing at a lightning speed in terms of actual sales at the till, if I can say it that way. And the reason is I think it all goes back to 10 years ago.
10 years ago, when this little event happened, the 2010 Winter Olympic Games, with the 4 host First Nations on center stage, a first by many standards.
I look back at the 2010 Winter Olympics as really, truly life-changing for this industry. I think it was the biggest single event in Canada's history for our Indigenous tourism sector that put us on the map globally.
In the last 3 years, Indigenous tourism across Canada has grown by 23%, outpacing general tourism, and the industry is making the most of it.
Once you hear the beat of the drum, you'll never forget it.
But all that demand has also brought challenges around representation and authenticity, challenges that are also still around today.
People are buying Indigenous printed products on coffee cups, T-shirts, you name it. It was everywhere, but most of that, not a cent of that, went back to local Indigenous artists.
For tour operators like Campo, the challenges are surmountable.
We do have guests that have what we refer to as misconceptions of the culture, and we feel as cultural ambassadors of our communities, that's our role, and we embrace that opportunity to communicate more accurate information.
And worth it.
It's hard not to brag, but I am so fortunate to be able to work within this sacred land that our people have lived here for literally millennia upon millennia.
Marie Seidler, CBC News, Vancouver.